So an immediate blood jump for both racers. This will be a kill, why not? It's that close, just go for it until it works. All three items are okay to pick up, and you get a blood drum as well. On 1-2, there will be a Shrine of Peace. No bombs for either racers at the moment. However, they've been finding a pretty good item, which will be the Charm of Strength. Azumak will... I don't know where that came from, actually. I thought it was gonna be in that crate, but... not finding it there. Ah, it has to be in here. Transmogrifier, right? No. You can't transmog charms! Could be worthwhile for both racers to just tap the shrine. Oh, it has bombs now, actually. Both racers do, so... Azumak going for a 1-2 transmog, you're not gonna get that good of an item out of that. Azumak will tap Shrine of Peace and enchant. Ribbon will do the same, which will end up with both racers having Phasing Dagger. A bit of a misordering, I think, for Azumak. Not being able to fill that empty heart container with the Peace Shrine, but where did this Strength card charm come from, I wonder? It seems like Azumak is pretty much explored the entire floor. Has to move on without it. That's pretty big, as Ribbon is on that 3 damage threshold. Azumak is not. Also helps with... also makes, like, pretty much any weapon a lot more viable. And we have Uprat for Azumak, along with an Obsidian Cat. Ribbon, meanwhile, still on 1-2, but it will end up worthwhile because that is the best shovel you can find. Almost timing out the bars. Almost timing out the song, seeing red bars for Ribbon. Azumak is also spending quite a bit of time in 1-3 since Ribbon isn't getting a move on. We'll farm up to buy the drumstick. Ribbon doing some score runner strats, using a blood drum to get a bit of extra gold in order to afford... what was that? What was that? Ah, I don't know. I'm missing a lot. Oh, Ribbon swapping back to the Phasing Dagger though. Very interesting choice. You have Down Rat, which is probably the least popular of rats. Azumak opted in for the good old Up Rat. Nice throw for Ribbon there. Very interesting take to leave that sitting cat behind. That's gonna be really, really good, but we'll see what cool tricks Ribbon has up their sleeve that warrants a phasing take. That is Shrine of Darkness into 1. Cross Charm pickup for as well for Ribbon. some sunglasses for Ribbon as well, so like... That cat is not a bad choice at all. Even if that was a base cat, it wouldn't be that bad of a choice. But leaving behind Obsidian and Titanium cat, even with 1 or 2 damage ups, doesn't want to get Courage Shoveled, I have to assume. That's the only reason I see. You can just get absolutely memed on if you have Courage Shovel and cat. But picks up a holster. Oh, one of the best things to have in your holster would be a phasing dagger. And a good other weapon. Ribbon will take cat. Cat will do the same damage, so we'll definitely see what use Ribbon plans for this cat. azumak, meanwhile, doing a pretty good job at playing it relatively safe, keeping things safe while still moving along. But doesn't have any damage ups on this Obsidian cat. That's not having any damage ups at all compared to Ribbon. Ribbon is absolutely loaded with them. And this Flood Rapier would have been great to have for Ribbon with the sunglasses and Strength Charm. Nonetheless, Ribbon continues on. Actually, Ribbon did pick it up. I don't know. Since when? How is this happening? How am I missing so much? So that's a great find for Ribbon. A 3-4 damage Blood Rapier will be able to just regenerate health. We have a bit more protection in form of the ring, but probably more importantly, manages to get off the Ring of Shadows for Ribbon. Picks up a bit of goo protection as well, so an already excellent build is just gonna continue to have sprinkles put on top of it. Some nice little build bonuses. That was a pretty scary mimic for Ribbon. Not much time to react to that, but luckily not in a dangerous situation of any sorts. So Ribbon is starting to pick up the pace now. azumak only getting the Leprechaun right now on 3-1. Earlier you get your hands on a Leprechaun and beat it up, the better, because you'll get more value out of that Luck Charm. And a flawless throw for Ribbon here. Phasing Dagger is one of the best things you have in your holster. And Ribbon popping the Frost Charm now. Has not too much use out of it, but it's nonetheless doing a decent job. A bit of extra protection now. Ribbon is now up to Suit levels of protection. It's nice. What is... Ribbon, don't... This blood magic. Yeah, blood magic would... Okay. The things are fine. Still scary nonetheless, using a mini-boss of all the enemies you could use instead. I just keep Magic Cheese here for after you heal with this much of a lead. Not too much of a lead, mind you, but it'd be worth keeping Magic Cheese, getting even more value out of that out of your need potion. Then regenerating using heal spell. Ribbon is throwing you tear through zone 4 here. Okay, some balance trap stuff with that Blade Master there for Ribbon. Ribbon managing to upgrade Leather to Chainmail to Squega Suit. With the Ring of Protection, that will be some heavy plate levels of protection, which is pretty nice. Like, health isn't too much of a concern for Ribbon anymore with this potion. And 9 full heart containers going into King Konga. Has Phasing Dagger to just whack Konga out of the throne. No Flawless, so might just wanna opt for an Ozuma, but actually has the Blood Drum. Very heads-up play there to one-shot Konga for a very, very fast kill. Azumak finding Scroll of Need. Will Fireball down to half a heart. Eat up cookies. In a pretty comfortable health situation once again. Has Mana Fireball, but maybe that's not gonna do too much for you. Oh, very good swap up for Azumak there. Swapping off ballet shoes. Swapping off 2 ballet shoes, and then swapping to Obsidian Armor instead of just staying on Chainmail. Which, I think you just stay on Chainmail, even if you find ballet shoes like that. Meanwhile, Ribbon with the Phasing Dagger will have a very easy time of Dead Ringer. Has 9 full heart containers and a potion. So, pretty much just needs to keep going alive with this 2 points of armor as well. We'll do an early hit off Necrodancer, no reason not to do that with this much health. And after spending that much effort to keep this Blood Drum with you the entire way. And one more hit off at the Necrodancer. Ribbon will be able to finish this one off with a race room time of 13:02. Azumak is not in the best of spots right now. Getting hit by a Cursed Wraith. Could have just Mana Fireballed the Shopkeeper there, but I mean, probably wanted to die. So, GG's! Ribbon will take the first point. And we are about ready for our second seed here. Azumak putting up a pretty good fight, but not quite enough for an opponent on Ribbongraph's caliber. And we're off. Early bomb use for Ribbon to find nothing. That's likely a reset, given that there's a potion room there too. Also a tier 2 shovel in the shop if you want to somehow get that. And 3 bombs for Ribbon. Looking pretty nice with them early bombs. The tier 2 cracked wall is next to the exit room. Azumak will spend one of their bombs to get a potion and won't have enough. Won't find the pack of 3 bombs because it's pretty wayward. However, there's the Shovel of Courage on 1-2. Pretty big pickup to just find just lying there. Oh, a bit scary without the torch, as seen here. But everything seems fine. Ribbon cracking open the tier 2. Cracked Well, on 1-1, which will be an okay-ish food shop. I mean blood shop. With a bit of food in it as well. Why it's a food shop. But this is some pretty severe farming on ribbongraph's end. 1-1's a pretty... It's not really the place where you want to farm because of how slow the song is, but if there are items to be found, it's definitely worth taking a bit of time to pick them up. Absolute mess of bats for azumak here. Manages to push towards the 1-2 exit. No reason to open that room for azumak. Got a map, you know where you gotta go. Possibly looking for trapdoors, but there's a black chest here and a barrel, so it's not utterly pointless. It's just that you're not likely to find much. What is that? That is just a titanium rapier. Why not? So buying transmute tomes. Okay, just get a titanium rapier and peace. This is just have a build. Get a map, get a potion, get some fake armor. Why not? But the transmute tomes and the barrel. Ribbon will get the same transmute and picks up the titanium rapier as well as the map, and will now pick up the quartz armor here. As azumak finishes off the first boss with flawless. A ring of regeneration! That is great to pick up with quartz armor. But it's arguable whether you want peace or regen. Both of them are so good. Ribbon, meanwhile, conjuring boots for damage up. This is just being handed a build for both racers. This seed is very much plentiful. All the items that you want, and just very little of the items that you don't. That bloodshot was a bit weak though, so it's not completely true, but hey, you got a courage shovel laying right there, and you got transmute tomes for, guess what, a titanium rapier. See what Ribbon checks here. We'll check purple as well, and we'll also take Ring of Regeneration. So Ribbon, having a bit more money, able to conjure up some boots, and it will be pretty helpful. This will bring Ribbon to a much coveted 3 damage threshold. And that is a Shriner for Ribbon. Already has such an excellent ring, so darkness isn't really in the question. And Ribbon takes the backpack. azumak will as well. A surprisingly deadly item. Especially with a blood drum that Ribbon has right now. azumak finding a piece of cheese from pushing a crate down a trapdoor. 2 cursed heart containers as well for both racers. Ribbon will be able to utilize Ring of Regeneration in order to fill out those cursed hearts so that the potion can actually use them. azumak, meanwhile, just eating the cheese that they found. Yeah, this pain now kind of evens the playing field in the boots department. And a bit of real protection for Ribbon. Thinking about whether to swap to Explorer's boots, and will Interesting choice, actually. If you're gonna prioritize pain over boots of strength, even though those boots will take you over the threshold, and then even above that you put goo protection, maybe? Maybe just don't take pain. Because that 3 damage Rapers is gonna do you good. Don't know what the thought process there was. But Ribbon swapping off the actual protection for Monocle, which is interesting as well. Like, both items definitely are great. But a lot of enemies can save a lot of damage. Surprising amount of damage, even with Quartz. With just 1 layer of protection. Nonetheless, it does yield free spell, and there will probably be some pretty good stuff coming down the line for Ribbon as a result of that take, so. Oh, very aggressive pushing from Ribbon. Great enemy priorities here. Making sure take out the Blade Master while it's frozen. Tier 3 cracked wall for Ribbon. It is never the food shop. Gets Fireball. Lots of hits here for Ribbon. Quartz armor doing quite a bit of work. And with the Ring of Regeneration, we'll be able to get some of it back. Such a good ring to have. With Quartz armor and a decent amount of hearts. Definitely want more hearts than this though. That'd be neat. azumak, meanwhile, swapping off to Chainmail. Not the best thing to find. But definitely will take it. azumak's freeze, falling just out of range of the mini-boss, but we'll manage to deal with it fine, as Ribbon on 4-3. Conjuring up some heavy plate, so this is going to be somewhat close. In terms of build, azumak actually doesn't have any more potions to drink, but is in the lead. Very good use out of freeze for both of these racers. Ribbon spending a bit of extra time, lacking the damage. That damage is important to hang on to. And Ribbon will pull an Azuma strat. Will help catch Ribbon up quite a bit. This is such aggressive pushing, utilizing Courage Shovel on both ends. There's just a shield spell there, not sure if you want that. Both races already fully loaded on the spells. azumak's pushing is basically as good as Ribbon's, managing to keep about the same distance ahead. However, not only does Ribbon have the Blood Drum for the Necrodancer fight, azumak only has 2 bombs. As Ribbon will be slightly ahead into Dead Ringer. It will be a left side spawn. And Ribbon utilizing the Blood Drum to dispose of Dead Ringer quickly. It looks like in red there is Shot Bro, so no hope of bombs for azumak here. Doesn't get the flawless anyways. Ribbon is going to completely use the Blood Drum here. Will quaff the potion. Can get dangerous. Depending on your opponent's bomb status, right now, since your opponent has to do butts, and you know they aren't veiled because of Monocle, just spend a bomb or two and then do the early flood drum hit. However, Ribbon, having a lot of health anyways, a potion, and the heavy plate, not too much of a concern, but there's definitely things that can go wrong when just using flood drum all the way to the Necrodancer in phase 1. Anywho, GG's to Ribbons. Well played for both racers. A pretty close race. Azumak with a pretty steady forward push, but not having the bombs to be able to compete at the end. It's a bit of a shame to see that. Nonetheless, good job on Ribbon for hanging on to Blood Drum. I've been seeing them do that quite a bit, and it's been pretty worth it. You kind of have to take Backpack with it, though, so that you actually have an item to use. I mean, of course you don't have to, you can just use items as they come, but that is a pretty good argument for taking Backpack, which I avoid doing because Backpack bad. But I've been seeing some good Backpack stuff this season, so I want to give it a shot again and then be disappointed when I die because of the Backpack. Yeah, had a lot of health to use the Blood Drum with, and in general, if you got freeze, or I mean, even if you don't have freeze, then just whack Dead Ringer. Makes life a lot easier. And we are ready to start our third and final race of this set. Azumak putting up a pretty good fight in the first 2 seeds, playing it on the safe side, which is a legitimate strategy. Dying is bad. Definitely no reason to push outside of your comfort zone if it's just gonna end up with you dead, so stay within your comfort zone, go as fast as you comfortably can. And hope that speed is fast enough. And an early reset for Ribbon. Didn't quite catch why there. Early reset for Azumak too. What happened? Probably just finding something to use the bomb with. Oh. Ribbon spends it on an apple. And probably the same thing happens here. No, takes an early hit actually. So 2 early resets. Not the end of the world. And 2 early bombs. An additional early bomb to work with. That's a pretty good shot. Ribbon just needs 2 more gold for the torch, which is the only item you really gotta get. It's also the cheapest item too, so it's pretty convenient. Some wall gold in the bottom right that Azumak will take advantage of. Let's pick up a bit more gold though in order to afford the wall torch. And we've been checking the shop with just 6 gold. Maybe possibly looking for a kill, but that's not gonna be a kill shop. Azumak finding a lot of trapdoors, but also finds a Shrine of Horror and a base whip. How fun. Does have enough bombs to use it with. Ribbon going a very wayward way. Far from the Shrine of Horror to find the Blood Shop, which will... Gold Cutlass maybe. And Ribbon will take the Gold Cutlass and the Blood Drum. This is the Heart Transplant as well, in order to quickly kill the dragon, also get a pretty fast Leprechaun farm, and also can run to the War Shrine and blow it up. So, pretty good heads up play there. Knowing what's on the floor, knowing what you can do. So this is now a 2 damage cutlass, which is not bad at all. You put yourself in dangerous situations without needing to worry too much. Oh, it has getting grabbed by a monkey, but the damage up will pay out in dividends. Being able to survive that very much due to the additional damage from the Ring of War. Azumak, meanwhile, picking up Ring of Mana, which I don't agree with. It can definitely pay off if you're going against a better opponent than you. Then maybe you should take more risks, like in this case. So I do understand it, but not something I would personally do in the same boots. Lots of backing up here for Azumak. Needs to keep these spiked ears alive, because that is their only source of damage up. Ribbon having the cutlass with spiked ears is definitely not bad, since you can just continually just parry enemies. As long as you're hitting enemies, you can keep those spiked ears alive, and if you're hitting enemies, you're probably going to do enough damage with those spiked ears to take them out pretty quickly. Map pick up in the shop for Ribbon. Nothing else necessary in that shop, really. Azumak, meanwhile, should have just walked around instead of spending a bomb, but yeah, bombs are somewhat scarce right now. And who knows what hanging on to an extra one can do for you right now. Down the line. Yeah, Azumak's very much playing this aria. Base, dagger, spiked ears. Gotta keep it alive. Transmog for Azumak, it's only 2-1, so can't really go for weapon or armor. We'll go for headgear and shovel. And we'll find the Courage Shovel. Ribbon, I believe, obtaining that from the same source. Going for armor as well. But there's a Conjure on the next floor as well, a bit more expensive. Oh, that is a solid weapon for Azumak. Dropping the spiked ears now as well, so pretty risky play to go transmog your weapon. And finding a ham, so upgrading from cheese to chicken new ham now. This is between gold and blood. Ribbon is gold and Azumak is blood. Yeah, lots of building up from both racers. The racers are gonna be dirt poor after a transmogger, followed by a conjurer. What do you mean? Blood is bottom, and gold is above blood. That's what you want. and then titanium. Everything else is pretty much the same as before. Just gold was added between titanium and blood. To create an additional division. How fun. Because there was quite a range in titanium before. By adding one more, each of the divisions are a bit more fine. Probably, but you can ask CoNDOR staff and then do like a challenge match against a crystal tier racer and then win. And then free playoffs. Actually, you don't even need to go against a crystal tier playoffs. If you have 0 losses, the system will just greatly inflate you, but I'm pretty sure that won't count as for something in the rules. And if not, they just won't let you. Because that's a little dumb. Shrine of Peace for Ribbon. Thinking about what to do, but I am currently titanium, and I have been for 3 weeks? So most of the tournament, but I'm always teetering on the edge of titanium gold. I don't belong in titanium. Pretty much everyone in titanium can wipe me. But I'm here because, wins. I win. I do wins sometimes against people, and then that puts me up Kappa. I wouldn't. This is some serious build divergence. Like, all the slots are filled, but they're all filled with like something different besides the excellent shovel for both sides. You'll start by winning a run. Yeah, de-rusting Necrodancer is something you gotta do. Unless you're me, and you just don't even bother, and you just hope the race is the warm-up and the de-rust and everything at the same time. Oh, some pretty bad cornering here for Ribbon, but we'll be fine. Keeping the blood drum alive, azumak will take the lead as this ring choice. I bashed on it for not being the right choice, but right now, in hindsight, it was the right choice. I would say keep Fireball. Make your decision quick though. No matter, just decide something and go. azumak will keep Pulse though. I say Fireball has extended application. And ribbongraph picking up Earth from somewhere, so Shield Spell Earth would be actually insane for azumak right now, but doesn't have it now. And a Pulsar Dead Ringer. Yes, but Kappa. So, both these races are pretty excellent at using spells. azumak is particularly strong at using it for safety and using it for pushing. Just being pretty versatile with it. Oh, there's just a Squigga suit there. Oh, actually it's in between. It's between 4 spike traps, it's not just there. azumak. Taking uncertainty for a broadsword. We'll keep the spear. Should kinda just get going. Spending a bomb for this Squigga suit. Not a bad choice, but Ribbon's getting going already, and you gotta try to keep pace. You got the tools, you got mana for shield, and mana pulse is less useful. Ribbon is not in the best of spots either, and the stream is freaking out as well. is going on with Ribbon's stream. Not like this. It's okay though, it seems to be running. And Ribbon's saying a bit of extra time for food shop. azumak is just gonna continue on, 6 cookies in hand. Using Greater Shield to just bonk up against Fortissimo. A decently fast kill, no chest, but you likely don't want to check that anyways. Torch of Walls for mapping for azumak as well. Just go, you don't need an Obsidian Cat, just go. Really should just be going right now. Obsidian Cat's very fast, but you're only gonna need it for a couple more floors, and your opponent is that close behind you. So, has Torch of Walls for azumak. Yeah, the cat choice is gonna cause a bit of snag there. But this Torch of Walls, along with the shovel, is allowing azumak to push forward. Nice preemptive shield for azumak. Ribbon is about a floor behind. This is a right side Dead Ringer spawn. Missed the first pulse. Misses the second pulse. And the third one! But finally lands it. That's a lot of health to burn, though. And just pops a Greater Shield. Preemptively. Oh, the pulse is recharged, just use it. Oh, okay. This Dead Ringer is going very far off the rails for azumak. Definitely had it a few times as well. The cat take proving to be way more of a nuisance than I thought it would be. Because I feel like that definitely would have gone so much better without the cat, as Ribbon takes the lead. azumak taking an absolute beating, cannot blood magic, or will die. As Ribbon, with 1 hit left on the Necrodancer, will be the first one to finish with a .D of 1420. Pretty slow run for Ribbon standards. Yeah, definitely could have pushed it harder, but was very reactive of their opponent. But yeah, that Ringer was super costly. It burnt through so much health, and maybe even more importantly, it just cost so much time. And as a lot of it, I feel, is because of the cat. Causing problems there. Really, there wasn't much reason to take the cat, if any.